Good evening, you're now with me, Razi Ahmad, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. More than 15,000 Palestinian children have been killed since the start of the Israeli occupation's aggression against the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, back home, Sarawak United People's Party (SUPP) is considering the use of AI for the upcoming 13th Sarawak state elections. And tenders for infrastructure upgrades at Kuching International Airport to be opened in June. Gaza's Ministry of Education said that more than 15,000 Palestinian children have been killed since the start of the Israeli occupation's aggression against the Gaza Strip. The majority of them school and kindergarten students, in addition to 64 students from schools in the West Bank, including Jerusalem.
On the International Day of Innocent Child Victims of Aggression, June 4th, the ministry highlighted the children of Gaza as the most affected by ongoing occupation aggression since October 7th. The ministry reported that the occupation is committing serious violations beyond norms, charters, and human rights by destroying schools and kindergartens, targeting civilians with children, killing, forcibly displacing, arresting them, and depriving them of food and health services.
بسبب إغلاق المعابر من قبل قوات الاحتلال الإسرائيلي أدى إلى أمراض كثيرة في داخل قطاع غزة ومنها سوء التغذية وسوء الامتصاص، وهذا بسبب منع الاحتلال دخول الأغذية وخاصة الحليب عند الأطفال، مما أدى إلى ضعف شديد في الجسم وقلة وسوء نمو شديد وإصابتهم بكثير من الأمراض.
Since the aggression of Gaza began, 620,000 students have been unable to attend schools and 88,000 students have been deprived of university education, with most suffering from psychological trauma and poor health conditions. The Ministry of Education urged international organizations and institutions defending children and education to end the escalating violations and stop the crimes committed against student children by the occupation. The ministry also called for urgent and immediate intervention to halt the aggression against Gaza and the attacks by the occupation army and colonists in the West Bank.
Over in Sarawak, the Sarawak United People's Party (SUPP) will study the use of artificial intelligence in preparation for the upcoming 13th Sarawak state election. Deputy Sarawak Premier cum SUPP President Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian emphasized the importance of the study as AI will play an important role in delivering clear and accurate information to the public if used effectively.
He said that SUPP is currently studying ways to leverage AI to help ensure the election process runs smoothly and to enhance vigilance throughout the process.
We're constantly looking at that. Of course, Saudari Kaur is one of the cyber security experts, and we are aware of it. We know that the next election is a lot of AI going to come into it, because the AI, how the AI can produce many Dr. Singh, but Dr. Singh himself cannot run so many places.
SUPP is looking into it now.
I think everyone is looking into it. Not only SUPP. I think GPS also looking into it. I think I mentioned DAP also looking into it because I was with YB Teo, the Deputy Minister of MCMC. We also talk about it.
He was met while attending the 65th SUPP anniversary celebration at the Sati Hall, SUPP headquarters, earlier today. Meanwhile, Sim highlighted the growing concerns about the spread of fake videos and images or deepfakes created by AI.
This is how it is in politics. But the future of politics, right? We all have to realize that the next future of politics is all the AI and all the deepfake and all these things going on. you can see how misinformation, fake information, disinformation, every election is happening. It's happening in Mexico election, it's happening in India election, it's happening in US election. There's no reasons why it will not happen in Sarawak election or in Malaysia election. So our job now is to start educating the people, so that when you look at it, right, it's not, when you look at it, you don't get misled by them.
Deepfake refers to a technique for altering someone's appearance in a photo or video using original images through face swapping methods. Deepfake manipulation was used in the 2022 South Korean regional elections, where an AI-generated video went viral on social media depicting President Yoon Suk-yeol supporting a local candidate from the ruling party.
Meanwhile, SUPP needs to attract the younger generation of various ethnic groups to join the party. According to SUPP veteran and former Dudong Assemblyman Dr. Sun Chun Tek, the party also needs to develop basic training for new members. This training should expose them to SUPP's mission and purpose and why they need to serve the people.
He emphasized that proper training could produce new party members and leaders who are loyal to the party's struggle. However, this loyalty will certainly be tested if some members are excluded from holding certain positions.
Jump vote very easily, Sometimes they lose a kapitan, punguru or councillor, then they join other party already. So that is not good. Like people like us, we stay with the party for how many years already? 59 years. You see what I mean? So what we want is that, therefore, they must have a lot of training, cardio training.
Dr. Sun, who was Dudong Assemblyman from 1991 to 2011, was interviewed after attending the SUPP flag-raising ceremony in conjunction with the party's 65th anniversary held at the SUPP office in Cebu on Kampong Nyabo Road. Meanwhile, Bukit Aseh Assemblyman Joseph Chin Jin believes that SUPP's philosophy can attract the interest of the younger generation in the region.
Because of the belief in the philosophy of SUPP, which really attract me, which it is Sarawak for Sarawakian, we fight for Sarawak. This is our main belief for all our SUPP members.
Joseph said that as one of the youth leaders in SUPP, he hopes that more youth will join them in the fight for Sarawak.
Political stability is the key to maintaining unity among the people and fostering progress in Sarawak. Sarawak United People's Party SUPP Secretary Jeffrey Pang stressed that in order to sustain this stability, the community must remain united and resist the influence of parties seeking to disrupt unity and peace in Sarawak.
Kita mesti berwaspada dan tidak terganggu atau terlalu dipengaruhi oleh pelampau atau orang yang mempunyai agenda tersendiri di dalam ataupun di luar Sarawak. Kita juga harus berhati-hati terhadap berita ataupun artikel palsu ataupun yang diputarbalikkan dalam sosial media yang disasarkan untuk menimbulkan keresahan dan juga konflik dan kebencian di kalangan penduduk di Sarawak yang akan mengganggu kepaduan, keamanan dan juga ketenteraman kita.
He read the text of SUPP Senandin Chairman Datuk Seri Lee Kim Shin's speech during the SUPP Senandin 65th anniversary flag-raising ceremony on Tuesday. Pang also reminded Senandin's SUPP members to maintain close relations with the people and to always follow the advice of the late 5th Chief Minister of Sarawak, Allahyarham Pahin Seri Adenan Satim, better known as Tok Nan, to care for Sarawak as best as possible. SUPP is the oldest political party in Sarawak and at the time of its initial formation fought for Sarawak's independence from the British government. Under the Gabungan Parti Sarawak (GPS), SUPP also contributed to the efforts to recover Sarawak's authority and rights to autonomy as enshrined in the Malaysia Agreement 1963.
In other news, a significant increase in tourist arrivals at Kuching International Airport KIA has prompted the government to improve the airport's facilities. According to Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, recent data shows a significant rise in tourist numbers, but the current facilities at KIA are insufficient to handle the surge.
Memang dalam perancangan Kerajaan Sarawak pada masa itu adalah untuk menaik taraf, meningkatkan lagi semua airport kita. Airport yang boleh kita anggap sebagai airport yang ada international flight. Kuching, Miri, dulu pada masa itu, dan selain daripada itu, situ. Sekiranya ditambah lagi dengan flight connectivity yang besar daripada China dan sebagainya, terpaksa kita dapat kita ketinggalan di belakang. Lebih lagi tahun hadapan kita ada pesawat di tempur, kita ada airline di tempur. Dan airline kita boleh kita anggap sebagai bukannya untuk domestik Sarawak saja atau dengan sebagainya. It is a regional airline. Regional airline berarti selain daripada internal destination dalam Malaysia, dia juga pergi ke Singapura, Hong Kong, Korea, Indonesia dan sebagainya. Jadi terpaksa kita dapat lagi daripada itu.
He said this after the Pesta Suntong Bako 2024 closing ceremony at the Bako National Park Terminal earlier today. He further said that tenders for the infrastructure enhancements at KIA, including the facilities, will be open in June. Through these improvements, he hopes to improve the initial perception of tourists arriving in Sarawak and enhance the attractiveness of Sarawak as a tourist destination.
Kita dah melihat bahawa mereka yang datang ke Sarawak melalui KIA, Kuching International Airport, sudah meningkat begitu lama. Tapi kemudahan yang ada setaraf dengan jumlah mereka yang datang. Jadi kita rasa malu lah. First impression is very important. Orang luar datang, apa kita siap. Sebab kita alhamdulillah saya difahamkan bulan Jun ini tender untuk meningkatkan airport Kuching, termasuk toilet, semuanya akan dikeluarkan dalam bulan Jun ini.
Also, the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts of Sarawak is focusing on attracting high-quality tourists in an effort to advance the local tourism industry's socio-economic development. Its Minister Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah welcomes initiatives for direct flights from foreign countries to promote tourist arrivals and increase visitor numbers to Sarawak.
Apa perancangan untuk menarik lebih ramai lagi pengunjung, visitors ataupun pelancong, baiknya daripada negara China ataupun di tempat-tempat lain, kita mengalur-alurkan. Lebih lagi kalau dapat direct flight. Masalah kita di Sarawak adalah flight connectivity. Dan sekiranya Datuk Seri Teo dapat ngatur dari China ke Sarawak, mana-mana pada raya, baiknya di Sibu, baiknya di Beri, baiknya di Kuching, kita mengalur-alurkan.
He added the Federal Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture is planning to increase direct flights from China to Sarawak, which would include destinations such as Kuching, Bintulu and Sibu.
A 55-year-old man from Kampung Haji Baki was found dead with multiple stab wounds on his chest. In connection with the murder, a 27-year-old man was arrested not far from the scene.
According to Padawan Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Irwan Hafiz Matrazi, the police received a distress call at about 8:50 p.m. June 3rd about an altercation between two men. When the police arrived, the victim was found lying on the ground after being stabbed multiple times with a pair of scissors. Further investigation found that the two men are cousins. The altercation between them stemmed from the victim's request for the suspect to make less noise, which quickly escalated into a physical altercation and later the tragic stabbing. The suspect has been remanded until June 10th to facilitate investigation under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder.
Coming up right after the break, Malaysia enforces ban on Israeli shipping containers while Palestine seeks to join South Africa's case against Israel at the ICJ. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Back on TVS Nightline, the Ministry of Transport must ensure that no containers from Israeli shipping companies dock at any ports nationwide. Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who made the call, stressed that this measure is crucial due to Malaysia's strict policy of having no diplomatic or business relations with Israel. He made these remarks during a press conference following the Halal On Track at Johor program at the Persada Johor International Convention Centre today. Last Sunday, Ahmad Zahid said the investigation into the reported presence of a container from the Israeli-based shipping company Zim at a port in Iskandar Putri needs to be expedited. The government aims not to extend the deadline for hiring foreign workers, including Bangladeshis, via the Labour Recalibration Program RTM 2.0, which ended at the end of last month. Home Minister Dato Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said that the initial period was reasonable for all companies in Malaysia to manage the necessary procedures.
Pada ketika tarikh itu kita tetapkan, kita telah mengambil kira semua proses. Maknanya bermula daripada kota diluluskan, pemeriksaan kesihatan, mendapatkan visa, atur tiket, semua tu. Baik. Jadi tempoh 31 Mei itu tempoh yang munasabah. Dan ternyata apabila baru ni kemasukan tu dalam masa 28 hari bulan hingga 31 Mei tu, jumlah kemasukan lebih 20,000. 28, 29, 30, 31 dalam masa 4 hari. Dan bila kita semak, antara yang masuk itu, kelulusan visa tu telah pun mereka perolehi pada bulan 11 tahun lepas. Isunya kenapa tunggu sampai 31 bulan 5 untuk buat masuk? Kalau majikan betul-betul memerlukan pekerja untuk kait buah di ladang, visa dah lulus, dapatkan tiket, datanglah. Ya, jadi kenapa mesti tunggu sampai gap yang begitu lama?
He said this after attending the Yang di-Pertua Negeri of Penang Tun Ahmad Fuzi Abdul Razak's visit to the Seberang Perai prison earlier today. Based on the uptrend of foreign workers coming in, Malaysia will have more than 2.6 million foreign workers by December 2024, exceeding the initial target of the Economic Planning Unit, EPU, which is 2.5 million.
The United Malays National Organisation UMNO is fully committed to assist Pakatan Harapan's candidate to contest in the upcoming Sungai Bakap state by-election. UMNO Supreme Council member Dato Sri Ahmad Mazlan said that he and another Supreme Council member Dato Sri Jamil Kir Baharom are to meet with Nibong Tebal UMNO and PKR leadership to discuss election campaign strategies.
Ahmad affirmed UMNO's support for Pakatan Harapan's candidate after a decision was reached during UMNO's War Room meeting. He said this in a press conference after attending the Jalan Bandar seminar at Penang 2024 at Butterworth Arena, which was launched by Penang Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow. Yesterday, all parties in the Penang Unity Government unanimously agreed that a PKR candidate will represent the coalition in the Sungai Bakap state by-election. The Sungai Bakap state seat is currently vacant following the death of its incumbent, Nur Zamri Latif, on May 24th due to stomach inflammation. The Election Commission, EC, will hold a special meeting on Thursday, June 6, to discuss the important dates of the Sungai Bakap state by-election.
Former national men's doubles coach Lee Guan Chong passed away earlier today at 87 years of age. Eric Lee said his father died of old age, leaving behind 3 children.
According to Eric, Guan Chong died at the Pantai Hospital in Bangsar at 7:52 a.m. He added the family is discussing the preparations for his cremation, which will be done in Petaling Jaya. Meanwhile, former national shuttler and coach Datuk James Selvaraj, who used to be coached by Guan Chong, described the coach's demise as a huge loss for the national sports fraternity. He described Guan Chong as an assertive coach who passed on all of his knowledge to the national team during their preparation for the 1975 and 1976 editions of the Thomas Cup finals. He also said Guan Chong was very strict to achieve the best result possible, but he was very nice with the players back then. Guan Chong was the national men's doubles coach for the 1975 and 1976 editions of the Thomas Cup finals, and in the 1976 finals, the national team won silver after losing 9-0 to Indonesia in the final.
Palestinian authorities are seeking to join South Africa on its bid against Israel for its ongoing genocide of Gaza. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, said Palestine filed in the registry of the court an application for permission to intervene and a declaration of intervention in the South Africa case against Israel concerning application of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide in the Gaza Strip. According to Palestine News and Info Agency WAFA, the request was submitted on May 31st.
The Palestinian request comes within the framework of Palestine's commitment to continue taking all legal steps at the international level to defend the rights of the Palestinian people and stop the crime of genocide committed against them. It also comes in the context of Palestine's commitment to legitimacy and international law as a basis for ending historical injustice and colonial occupation and holding it accountable for its crimes. Palestine called on all states parties to the International Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide to join the lawsuit procedures filed by South Africa to protect the Palestinian people from the crime of genocide, ensure the non-repetition of this heinous crime in the future, and to preserve the viability of the international law-based system. South Africa brought the case before the International Court of Justice last year, alleging that Israel's Gaza offensive breached the 1948 UN Genocide Convention, a charge Israel strongly denies. So far, the Palestinians have only sent high-ranking representatives to follow the hearings in The Hague.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs called upon relevant parties to work towards the implementation of Joe Biden's proposal to end the genocide in Gaza. In a statement, it said the proposal is the best way forward to end the calamity that is happening in Palestine and that Israel must fully withdraw its forces from the colonized land.
Malaysia has urged international communities to prioritize sending immediate and unrestricted humanitarian aid to redevelop Palestine. The ministry stressed that Malaysia stands with its undivided solidarity towards Palestinians, including their rights to determine their own future, including the direction how Palestine will be developed into an independent and sovereign country with East Baitul Muqaddis as its main city. Meanwhile, in Qatar, the Foreign Ministry spokesman Majid Al-Ansari said they are still awaiting a response from Israel about Biden's ceasefire plan.
We have yet to see a very clear position from the Israeli government towards these principles laid out by President Biden, and that would translate to the other side. We are looking now into concrete answers from both sides over their current suggestions, and we're hopeful that we can get them.
Previously, a U.S. State Department spokesman, Matthew Miller, stated that the plan was allegedly an idea by Israel. Supposedly, he said the plan was further developed in consultation with the United States, Qatar, and Egypt. Miller said he is confident that Israel will be willing to implement the idea.
We are completely confident. It was an Israeli proposal. Obviously, it was a proposal that they developed in consultation with the United States and Qatar and Egypt, the three countries that have played the mediating role throughout this process, but this was ultimately an Israeli proposal.
To date, more than 38,000 recorded deaths has taken place in Palestine, with some 15,000 of them are children. These numbers can spike daily, not only due to the constant bombardment by the Zionist regime, but due to starvation, the lack of clean water, and injuries that could not be treated due to the shortage of medical supplies.
A military training plane has crashed in central Turkey earlier today, killing the two pilots aboard. According to the Turkish Defense Ministry, the SF-260D plane took off from a military base in Kayseri on a training flight and later crashed for as yet unknown reasons. Images on Turkish media showed black smoke billowing from a charred, half-destroyed carcass of a plane in an agricultural field. Firefighters, rescuers, and police were working at the site, according to the images. Now, state-run Anadolu Agency has said the authorities have initiated an investigation into the cause of the crash. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching and have a good night.